What's good? Ramon Carter here from Gut Check, and you know what, man? Today is a privilege. I'm having some time with my mentor, and you know what? This month we've been talking about dominating time. We've been talking about getting into what we need to get into. We've been talking about discipline. We've been talking about the grief of growth, and right now I have my mentor with me. You always hear me say, my mentor, Pastor Frederick Gines. Man, we're gonna ask him a few quick questions, man, so that you can get just a look into the mind and the genius of my mentor and how you can apply these things to your life. Pastor, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, man, it's awesome. Like I said, we're not going to have no overnight bags. Pastor's time is very valuable. I just want to ask you today, we talked about dominating coming with opposition. Can you give us a little clarity on what that means, dominating with opposition?
Well, I think that anytime that you set out to have dominion or to take up space somewhere else, there has to be some opposition to dominate. There is no domination without any adversity or resistance and things of that nature. So anytime that we are going to overcome or override or just take up space, there has to be something that we have to overcome. And for those that don't have a mindset to overcome, there'll never be a behavior or a reality of domination.
Man, that's good. So we're talking about the fact that we're talking about dominating. We talked about dominating time. We talked about doing the next thing that we need to do. But we also talked about there is no domination without opposition. What are you dominating? So when you begin to move forward, when you begin to do those things that you need to do to pull out your authentic identity, you're going to be met with resistance. You're going to be met with obstacles. And in order to do that, you have to dig into that wellspring that's inside of you and continue to push and press forward. And Pastor, speaking of wellspring that's inside of you, one thing that you've always taught me has been that I've come into this world fully loaded, able to do what it is that I'm called to do, able to live according to how I'm created to live. Just give us an explanation of what it means to be fully loaded.
You know what? I think that most people don't have an awareness. Everybody comes into this world rich. And I mean rich enough to do what they're called to do in the world. So for example, if we have this amazing lion that was engineered to be the king of the jungle, however, it had sheepish programming, then therefore it would operate according to the culture it inherited, and by default it neglects the riches that it has in order to fulfill the purpose that it was supposed to fulfill. So everybody comes into the world equipped and engineered, but because of programming, it's changing our awareness, shines a bright light on the riches that we do have. So one of the tragedies in life is to have all this time but not know how to use it while we're here. Once we have that awareness and once we're reprogrammed and have a mind shift, then we begin to understand what we do have and what we can do, which is one of the greatest discoveries in the world.
Wow. See what I'm talking about, y'all? This is off the cuff. So let's wrap it up and bring it on home. We talked about dominating time. We talked about when you're in the pursuit of domination that you're going to come up against obstacles and against impediments, but that you're well able to persevere because you've come into this world fully loaded with everything you need to surpass that. Everything you need to conquer, everything you need to dominate is built inside of you. It's just an expansion of your awareness and allowing the brilliance of that to shine in on who you are. Man, listen, I want to thank you today, Pastor, for spending this time with us. Listen, if you want to connect with this man, he only gave you, just not even crumbs, he just gave you a little bit of peace. Man, go to Facebook, Frederick Gines. He has a book that's coming out, The Gold Standard. Listen, if you don't get to thegoldstandard.com today and get your pre-order in, you know, we need mentors. We need people who are ahead of us to help pull us into our own destiny and future. And this man has been instrumental in making me the man that you see before you today. As always, I want to thank my pastor for giving me this time. I want to thank you guys for giving us this time to speak into your life. And I leave you with these three thoughts. Think abundance, focus on growth, create, never compete. Thanks, and God bless.